Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Shedeur Sanders could miss Saturday's preseason game with an oblique injury. Shedeur suffered the oblique injury during the throwing drill early in the Browns' joint practice against the Eagles. Ocho, how concerned are you about Shedeur rise to be QB1 if he doesn't play on Saturday?
I'm not concerned at all. I'm not concerned at all. For one, he's not going to be quarterback one. We know Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback week one against the Bengals when they do play. So I'm really not worried about that. I really don't have any concern because now come Saturday when they do play, if I'm not mistaken, Dylan Gabriel, and I'm not sure if Kenny Pickett is playing, now they get an opportunity to show, what they can do. We've seen the small sample size of Shedeur Sanders with the ones for a short period of time, the twos, the threes, and the fours. So we know what he can do. We saw how he played with the lights are on, with the pressure's on, and the bullets are flying for real. We haven't seen what Kenny Pickett could do as a Browns player. We haven't seen what Dylan Gabriel can do. So they deserve their opportunity to play when the lights are on and the game is somewhat meaningful as far as vying for a position on that team. As far as Shedeur goes, he showed what he can do. So him being injured, being able to take the time off and be ready for week 3, whichever preseason game that is, I'm all fine with that.
So you think he's shown enough? For me, I don't see how they keep 4 quarterbacks. Somebody's going to have to get released. It's really that simple. You're not keeping 4 quarterbacks because the positions are too valuable. And none of these guys play special teams. So with that being said, maybe Dylan Gabriel can hold, maybe Kenny Pickett can hold. I don't think Joe Flacco's ever held, at least not while he was in the league. I'm sure at some point in time, maybe in college he held or something like that. But it just, I don't know if he's done enough. People say, well, he's done enough. He's shown what he can do. Well, that's not what the depth chart said. The depth chart said he was still QB4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, I think politics plays a part in it. But obviously, when the opportunity presented itself for him to play, when Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel were hurt, he rose to the occasion. He rose to the occasion and looked extremely sharp. Had some great plays, outside the pocket, in the pocket. He was calm, he was poised. And I'm sure anyone with common sense, a GM, a scout, can see the way he played and know this is a quarterback that deserves not just a chance to be on the team, but a chance to start, a chance to compete for the starting position. So now, with that being said, nobody on the other 31 teams watch Shedeur Sanders play that night and say, you know what, he deserves to be quarterback number 4. Nobody at all. So now, if they believe so much in Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel to be quarterback 2 and 3, now they have their opportunity Saturday to prove why they should be.
I don't know if Pickett has practiced yet. Stefanski said, I think it was yesterday or day before, that he was still dealing with some tightness, so they wanted to be careful. They want to be cautious with it. I don't know how much Gabriel has practiced since his injury, but look, they got Snoop Huntley on the roster, and they brought him in last week. Once these other two, they realized that Gabriel had gotten nicked and Pickett had been out for an extended period of time. With all that being said, this is kind of my worst fear, because we talked about it last week, and I said I sure hope he can consolidate it. I hope that he can put back-to-back games together, Ocho. And now it's like he played really, really well in one game, and now he's nicked, and it looked like he's going to miss the second game. And then the third game, obviously Flacco's probably not going to play. But I could have seen envision a scenario that they probably would have released Flacco and went with the other guys.
No, absolutely not. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen with your experience in the NFL. As long as you've not only played but been covering the NFL, they're not going to start with the young bucks.
They're trying to win, Ocho. You're not trying to win.
You say that you're not trying to win? Well, talk to me. And
so you're trying to win. You go get Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. Those are your choices, and you take Dylan Gabriel, and then you take Shedeur Sanders in the 7th round, 5th round.
Well, hold on. What other option did they have? Huh? They had no other
So
option.
there were no other quarterbacks available other than Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett.
Well, what quarterbacks were available that can actually put the Browns over the hump right now and compete in the AFC North?
Justin Fields available?
I think he was already going to New York, huh?
He wasn't going before free agency started.
Okay,
you knew James. You wasn't gonna bring. Okay, you wasn't gonna bring Jameis back. Okay. So right. You know that. You don't wait till free agency start. You're starting this. You're looking at free agents, not only others, but your own free agents. And you're getting an idea. You're trying to put this puzzle together. Who we would be interested in, who might be interested in us. Who are we going to try to re-sign? Who are we okay with them moving on? So for me, when you got an 18-year vet, a guy that really hadn't shown you that he could, I mean, he'd been at 2 stops, Ocho.
Wait a minute. A guy that has shown you when Deshaun Watson got hurt, he came in and went on a 5-6 game winning streak for them until the bottom fell out.
So you know what you're getting with Joe Flacco, right? So you know the bottom's going to fall out, right?
I mean, at some point, and that's where your number 2 comes in play.
Thing, though.
That's where your comes in play. And once your number 2 comes in play, you stick with him, and that's who you ride with for the foreseeable future.
But there are things that even though Joe Flacco is playing well, he turns the ball over a lot. He turns the ball over a lot, picks and fumbles, and that's what bites him. Pickett, I was never sold on Kenny Pickett.
Right.
Pittsburgh wasn't sold on Kenny Pickett. Didn't he go to? He went to Philly last year. Where was he last year? Philly.
He wasn't Philly. I think he was the backup, not the back, maybe third string. I'm not sure. Or who was the second?
McKee is the second now.
Okay, so Kenny might have been the second string.
Yeah, he went in when Hurts went out. But McKee, obviously, they felt very comfortable keeping McKee, and he looked well in the duty and the role that he came in on Sunday last week. He looked really, really well. It's just hard for me to see a scenario, Ocho, is that they keep 4 quarterbacks and 2 rookies. Now you run the risk of if you release one of the rookies, somebody else sign them. Now, probably they're only going to sign if you sign them to your active roster. Because, why would you want to go and try to learn a new system when you spent OTAs, you spent mini camps, you spent training camp learning this system? Why go somewhere else, start behind, unless they're going to put you on the active roster? Now, if they're going to put you in the 53-man active roster, well, I totally understand because there's a substantial difference in pay. But unless they're willing to do that, it doesn't make much sense for me for you to go to one practice squad to the other practice squad. Or if they release you, now it's, you get to decide, well, we really like to sign you back. Do you go back with a system that you're familiar with, Ocho, or do you move on and try to learn a new system and say, well, I think over there might be better situated for me, or I might be better suited to be in that situation over there as opposed to currently here. What's your take? What do you think about that?
I can see how it plays out. I'm telling you, I can see it. I can see it. Listen, I'm not in the Browns organization. I'm not there in the locker room. I'm not there on the practice field. But from what I know about the game, from the outside looking in and just being around the game in general, I know exactly how it's going to play out. Based on what Shedeur did in the first preseason game, to be able to come out and do that with the limited amount of snaps that he was able to play. Joe Flacco was back, and they brought him back simply because he knows the offense, he knows the system, and we know what we get from him if he's in there. At some point, things are going to go disarray. The bottom's going to fall out at some point. Who's going to be our number 2 quarterback that's going to be able to step up and take things on from that point for the foreseeable future for our franchise?
Jalen Hurts gave Shedeur Sanders a ride on the golf cart after Sanders injured his oblique during practice. He spoke on his conversation with Shedeur, saying, he came to me and wanted to talk. I'm always there of giving my perspective on what I see and how I've gone about things. I'm supporting him from where I am and wish him nothing but the best. And I get it.
I
mean, Jalen, I mean, the maturity that he displays, you would think the guy's been in the league 10, 12 years, and he's only been in the league, about 6 years himself. But the way he goes about his business, the way he handles his business, the way his perspective on a lot of things. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. He's very even keel. Guys rally around him. He comes off as very authentic. I believe he's very authentic. Heard Lane Johnson talking about him. He's the same day one as he is right now. He's just gotten more efficient and better at what he's doing, but he's still the same guy. Nothing about him has changed or deviated from when he walked into this locker room as the second-round draft pick. And that's what you can appreciate. Circumstances has not changed this young man. Super Bowl MVP, this, that, the talk. Philly is a very tough place, a very tough town to play in. But he doesn't let that bother him. Everybody can't play in places like Philly. It'll crush a lot of people. But he's built for it. He has very thick skin. He has very small ears, so he doesn't hear the noise. And stuff that people would normally say or that would be impactful to a player, it bounces off him.
Right.
So that's what makes him really, really good at what he does. Because the same thing with Eli is that they try to beat him up in New York. He's like, I don't even hear the A. Eli was like, damn, Eli, you alive? Yeah, I'm alive. I just don't hear y'all bullshit. What y'all saying is dead to me. I'm alive and well. It's just what you're saying is dead to me. But I like the fact it's like, look, all I can do is offer my perspective from where I am. I'm the starting quarterback of Philly. I hear what you guys hear. I got an opportunity to hear his perspective because he's actually in it. And I'm saying, and maybe he shared when I was in a situation when I got here, they had just given a guy one of the second richest contracts in NFL history. But I was undeterred. I was like, I'm going to take care of what Jalen can take care of. I can't concern myself with what they just paid him. I can't concern myself that he was on the way to winning the MVP before he got hurt week 13, week 14. That don't have anything to do with me. Let me control what I can control. Let me do what I can do, and then the chips will fall where they may. But when I get my opportunity,
that's exactly where I was going with it. Now, obviously, Jalen's opportunity didn't come until they were already in season. Well, hell, preseason matters most because right now you're trying to earn a roster spot. They got fourth on the depth chart, not give you the adequate reps that you need, especially with the ones or the twos. Two players get hurt. The opportunity presented itself. When the opportunity presented itself, how did he look?
No, he looked good. He looked really well. He looked good. Looked very good.
Looked really well. He looked really well in command of the offense, in command of the players. He looked like a leader. Looked like he's been doing it for 5 or 6 years.
He looked very poised.
That's what he looked like. So again, now it's a quarterback competition. His oblique is hurt. Next man up. Now it's Dylan Gabriel's turn. If I'm not mistaken, if Kenny Pickett's not playing, Joe Flacco's not playing the second game. Now Dylan Gabriel gets to play most of the goddamn game until Snoop Huntley comes in the fourth quarter, similar to what they did last Friday.
True.
Now we will see. We will see. Because Kenny Pickett not getting snaps now, but we still know what we got from Kenny Pickett when he was in Philly. We know what we got from Kenny Pickett when he was in Pittsburgh.
It's hard to evaluate it when he was in Philly because he didn't really get a whole lot of playing time. He was a backup, but we did see a large sample size of him when he was in Pittsburgh.
Okay, and listen, no disrespect to him. And in a 3-year span, is all of a sudden now going to be the year that something has changed miraculously?
Well, it seems the Cleveland thought so because that's why they signed him in free agency.
Well, quarterbacks are going to always get opportunities, Unc. You know that. They're going to always get opportunities over and over and over and over, either as a 2, as a 3, or sometimes a 4. Not very many teams carry a fourth quarterback, but they will always get an opportunity.
Yeah, man. I mean, it seems like he can't catch a break. I mean,
yeah. I mean, do you know how many Tim Couch, Detmer, Wynn, Peterson, Holcomb, Garcia, McCown, Dilfer, Fry, Anderson, Dorsey, Quinn, Manziel, Hoyer. I mean, Whedon, Wallace, Hogan, Taylor, Mayfield. It continues on and on and on and on. So how they can just be so proud about, well, this individual looked a certain way in preseason, but we still want to keep him fourth on the depth chart. I mean, anyone that even looks the par, you should be fighting at the bit about him at that position that you haven't been able to find success at, and who knows how long.
Oh, it's been an extended period of time since they found a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to say, oh, it's the preseason. It doesn't mean anything. No, but it means something, because before a wedding, you have a dress rehearsal, don't you? Yeah, you have a dress rehearsal. Well, that was a dress rehearsal. Whether it was the twos or
but
the ones.
But they wouldn't have said that. Let me ask you a question. If he went out there, if Shedeur goes out there and throws 3 picks and fumbled the ball, would they have said it doesn't mean anything? Or they would say, see, that's why they took him in the 5th round. You see, he plays well, it doesn't mean anything. He doesn't play well, it means everything. We see how this goes. We already know what was being written.
Right.
We already know.
Right.
So he played well, that don't mean anything. He doesn't play well, it's everything. I think for a rookie quarterback, it means a lot, because this is his first time getting NFL action. This is the first time that he's going to go against people that's out there trying to, unless you're the number one, unless you're a high draft pick. But, you know, Shedeur's out there competing against guys too. They don't want that. Look.
Yes.
In about 2 weeks, 30 guys per team, about 1,000 guys, Ocho. Their dreams, their football dreams will come to an end. A lot of these men have been dreaming for this moment their entire lives. And now they're going to have to do something else. Maybe it's coaching. Maybe they put that degree. Maybe they're a teacher. Maybe they're financial. Maybe they're personal trainer. Whatever the case may be, they go out into the real job world, a 9 to 5. And look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a 9 to 5, because I know y'all take everything and try to run with it. What I will say is this: for about 1,000 plus men, their dreams of playing in the NFL will come to an end. And then what is your backup plan? What is plan B? Because plan A failed. Let me take that back. Plan A wasn't the success. So now you either going to have to try to, like, okay, hopefully somebody picks me up on the practice squad and I try this thing again. Or I'm like, you know what? Probably you listen to what the guys, maybe you listen to what the GM says, you know, hey, son, we think you got talent, but we kind of just stacked at that position where you are. And, you know, we think you can play in this league, but just right now, we just think it's better that, you know, we give you an opportunity to go someplace else. That's the reality of it, Ocho. That is the reality of professional sports. Sometimes your dreams, what you dreamed, and maybe it was your dream to play from junior high, JV to varsity. And then you go to high school and say, man, if I can play college. And then you say, man, if I can just get an opportunity to play in the NFL. Maybe that was your dream, was to get into a training, go to OTAs and mini camps and training camps, play in the preseason, and that was it. Maybe that was it.
Right.
But some, you know, like I said, it might not happen this year. You might have to have a delayed success where it doesn't happen this year, but it happens next year. And it might be 2 or 3 times, Ocho, you, hey. But I think, give yourself an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm gonna keep training. Maybe somebody calls me back, put me on the practice squad, and I might be going into a situation where I don't know the plays, but I definitely be going into a situation where I'm in shape, as in shape as I can possibly be, given that I will not have played football in a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month. That's what you can hope for. But that's the reality of professional football. Now, obviously, it's not that many basketball players. I mean, but you look at 30 teams and there are 15 players per roster, so you're looking at 450. they're going to cut double that. Because you think about Ocho, you got 80 on the roster
right now, and you got to get down.
to 53.
You got to get down to 53. And you got to bring.
But you get by 20. You can put by 20 on the practice squad. I think 20? So. How many practice squad players do they got? I think it's a high number. This is a high teens, Ocho, 15 to 20.
So, changed.
Yeah, it changed. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I had no idea. Okay.
16.
Okay. 16?
So you get 16.
Okay.
Well, if he's an international player, it can be 17. So, yeah. So with that being said, Ocho, like a lot of these, so because at first you had 90, then you get down to you go to camp with 80. And now that's 27. So you releasing 640, 700, yes, with 30 times 20. So think about how many players you're actually releasing.
Right. Hey, but Unc, man, you know the definition of malpractice?
Yeah, I know what the malpractice is. Yeah, absolutely.
Those that are in positions of power that make the calls at that organization, I think everybody needs to be fired if they don't get it right this time. They do. Because enough is enough. 35 different quarterback positions. And you've yet to find success in having one for a decade. You haven't had the luck.
I do give them an A for effort. They keep trying.
But come on now.
I mean, Ocho, if somebody would have told you, given what you know, a 26-year-old Deshaun Watson in his absolute apex prime, if somebody would have told you that it wasn't going to work, you wouldn't have believed him. He had just led the league in passing.
Yeah.
Just led the league in passing. Now, obviously, there are other circumstances, and then he gets injured. What was it? He tears his ACL, then he messed up his shoulder, I think, first, and then it was his Achilles. It was his Achilles, and then he re-injures that. So I think that's where, because they thought they had their quarterback for the next decade. I thought they had their quarterback for the next decade.
Yeah, same.
Nobody would. If you go back and look at Deshaun Watson when they made this, there's no Deshaun Watson is not out of your top 10. As a matter of fact, a lot of people probably had him in their top 5. So, and we had never seen a quarterback this young in his prime that's non-injured
be available.
They never come available. Not in their prime. Even Brady became available, but he wasn't in his prime. Now, he still played well, but Brady was not going to be available in year 6. Peyton Manning was not going to be available in year 6. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Joe Montana, they're not available in year 6. Deshaun Watson was available in year 6 in his absolute prime. So they thought, I give them the utmost credit because they traded an awful lot to get him. And that's what you have. Yeah. What would a team trade to get their hands on a Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen? You trade an awful lot. You would. Or Lamar Jackson.
Absolutely.
You would.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, I give them credit. Now, they gagged on a lot of other ones too. But I can't say that they get, I mean, it looks hindsight because it's a magnificent science because we have the luxury of knowing today what we didn't know yesterday.
Right.
But at the time, they're like, oh, yeah, perfect. Now, you look at what they turned that into, you know, they probably got Will Anderson Jr. and they got Nico Collins and some of these other drafts. You're like, well, it worked out well.
Yeah, but absolutely.
Something is. I just can't put my hand on it. I wish that Shedeur was healthy and was playing in this game because it would crystallize things a lot for me, Ocho. It really would.
Well, honestly, things are going to crystallize themselves regardless, huh? even if he doesn't play in this game. Him not playing in this game,
you got 3 injured quarterbacks. So how did it crystallize? You got 3 injured quarterbacks. One has an oblique and 2 got hamstrings. So how does it crystallize?
Hold on. Dillon Gabriel's playing this weekend. Dillon Gabriel's getting this opportunity to play this.
You know hamstrings. You know how they are.
Okay, how about this? If Shedeur looked that way in the first preseason game, right? And Dillon Gabriel plays this week and doesn't look as good as Shedeur.
Well, Shedeur did play against the same caliber talent that Dillon Gabriel. I'm just preparing you for what they're going to say, Ocho. You see? You already know what they're going to say, too.
And you can't deny. You can't deny.
Why would I want to?
No matter how much they try to stall the process on what's to be, it's going to be regardless.
I agree. Agreed.
Regardless. Like they can play the political game all they want. They can play merry-go-round with the quarterback situation all they want. Have them come out and say, this is not the quarterback I wanted. But Andrew Berry, when all is said and done, will look like Einstein. He's going to look like Einstein. He just is. It is. You can't deny it.
I don't disagree with you. I don't. But it's just hard to compete in that division when you got 2 of the best quarterbacks two of the top 4 quarterbacks reside in that division. Then you put them in when you say, okay, give me your top 5 quarterbacks. It's going to be Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. Those are the 4.
Yeah.
2 of the 4 that I mentioned reside in the AFC North. So if you want to win that division and you want to be competitive year in and year out, you're going to have to find a way to beat those 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And they're going to be there for an extended. None of those quarterbacks are 30. So you got to deal with them for the next 5 to 10.
Mm-hmm. And you also have another, and I don't want to discredit him. I know he hadn't looked good the past 2 years, but ain't no slouch down there in Pittsburgh either.
The only thing, you're not going to have to deal with him for another 5 to 10, but you're right.
Yeah.
So I just don't, I don't know, Joe.
Listen, I'm excited to see how it turns out. I know football is back in 22 days, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got my numbers right. And I want to see who's going to be quarterback number 1 for the Cleveland Browns. I want to see. I know how it's going to play out. I know Joe Flacco is going to be the starter. He's the veteran. We know what he's done when he was at the helm. He went on a 5-6 game run. It was phenomenal. All looked crazy. I also saw what Shedeur did when he got his opportunity, despite being low on the depth chart. Now we get to see what Dillon Gabriel can do this Saturday. I don't even know who they playing. Who they playing? Philly?
Yes.
Okay.